I think you can expect another really strong performance. This is a team, notwithstanding the results, have put out three really strong performances, and it's fair to say we've played last year's champions, last year's runners-up, and a very experienced Mav side, and we've performed well in all three of those games. We beat Team Bath on a double header up in Birmingham, so we faced the champions on the Saturday and then Bath on the Sunday, and we came out and put an absolutely amazing performance out against them. So, from a coaching point of view, whilst obviously we want points on the board, it's the nature of the performances that we've been really excited about so far.
Okay, well, from a player's point of view, then, Kira, what does it mean to know that you've got some of those successes behind you when you go into the match tonight?
Yeah, I think we're a young team, and everyone talks about us being a young team. And we've known inside our camp for the last 3 years at least that we can put out these performances, but finally we're showing everyone that we actually can do it, which in turn increases the belief that we have in ourselves to go and win tonight's match, for example, and just opens up the league. Like, there's been a lot of results that maybe people didn't expect. So yeah, it's given us a lot of confidence.
Sam, tonight will be special in many ways because it is the first home game of the season, but it's not just that. Just tell us a bit about the backstory about what was happening previously.
Yeah, so netball was hit like most sports by the pandemic, and so 2 years ago we had three games, and then the season was cancelled altogether. We then had a season last year which was played predominantly without fans in two central venues. So this is the first sort of normal season, albeit we're still under quite heavy COVID restrictions, but the first normal season for us. So this really is going to be our first home game with our own home fans for 2 years. We've got some really loyal fans that have been itching to see us, and I know that they'll be there tonight. And I've just had a little look at the ticket numbers before I've come on, and we're looking at around breaking the 1,000 number, which is fantastic for us, coming off the back of having no fans for 2 years. So it's going to be a great occasion.
Yeah, Kira, as a player, what does it mean to know that those who are sitting there watching are there because they want to see you?
I think I'm still getting used to it because part of me is like, why would people want to come and watch me? But actually, I'm starting to realise that what we can offer as a team is inspiring for not just young girls but all women, and like the diversity, men and women, is increasing across the fan base, which is really exciting. Um, yeah, I just can't wait to actually meet these fans that on Twitter are so apparent and we haven't actually met them yet.
Sam, I know that there's always interest when it comes to at the national level for all sports, but when it comes down to the Super League level, there is a growing trend there. This is a growing league in terms of popularity for fans. Does that kind of warm your heart that we're not just looking at this sport at a national level?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I was a player a long, long time ago, and we would be playing our games, even international games, only in front of a few people with poor visibility. And the game has transformed in a generation, really. And it is just genuinely heartwarming to see the role models that our players can be. I mean, as CEO, I regularly get messages and emails from families just to say that our players have inspired their girls to come and try something. We also work with the Knights men's netball team, and the men's netball is growing as well. We run visually impaired netball, and we're the first club that is inviting visually impaired spectators to come and watch our match tonight. They come as our guests, they come as for free. And I think it's just critical that we reflect London that we represent. And it's worth just noting within our London Pulse side, through our whole pathway, I think we've got over 20 England athletes, and athletes that compete for other home nations as well. So we have got the very best talent in this club, and we're coming to win this thing, and it's just a very exciting time to be involved with the club.
Yeah, well, with that in mind, then Wasps this evening, Coventry side. You're on your home turf, Kira. That's got to give you the advantage, you would argue.
I'd say there's not that much difference when it comes down to it. we've got a job to do, and that will be the same whether we're home and away. I guess the closer the game gets, the more the crowd gets involved, and that's where being at home will be an advantage. But for now, I think we just have to focus on starting well and doing the basics to make the rest of it easier.
And Sam, any concerns for the squad going into this? Obviously, I know we're still dealing with COVID to some extent. Any injury issues?
No, well, for the first time, I'm pleased to report that we've got our top 12 players available for selection. So that's the first time we've been hit by COVID and one long-term injury. But the coaches tonight are like kids in a sweet shop. You know, we have 12 amazing players to select from, and it'll be how we match up to Wasps and seeing how those matchups go, really. But it's a luxury to have all 12 players ready to go and ready to perform tonight.